All right. A lot of folks asking, would there be a fifth quarter tonight? We are Pirate Radio. This is what we do. It is 2 a.m., and we are saying hello to you after an East Carolina loss 35-24 to Liberty. Last week, East Carolina up 16-0. They lose to App State. This week, Pirates up 17-0. They lose to Liberty. Welcome back into the program. Clip Brock, Holt Nailers, Caden Norman, 2:06 a.m. We got lines locked and loaded.
I wanted to confront all the Mike Houston haters, the Jake Garcia haters, and kind of, address that issue about how they're hating on them. But now, bro, I'm done. Okay? The defense looked terrible. We were preheated in the oven 350 and cooked. Absolutely cooked.
Second straight loss. I think the time being what it is, and y'all stayed up to watch this, makes it even more tough to take. Look, Holden and Caden both said it last week. Long season. Our schedule is light. We're going to be in games. We're going to win or be in the game in the fourth quarter, I think, every week moving forward. Yeah. So it's going to be nip or tuck. We got to find a way to win these close ones. But his question, how do you feel now moving forward about this team?
Well, I'll tell you first, and I'll answer the question about the defense, too, because I do want to address that as, we're playing more off coverage because we lost a first-round draft pick at corner on a Wednesday, and you have to go put in a backup corner DB to go out there and play, and you're not going to go play press man when the game's on the line. That's just coaching, just being around ball. I know that's what they're thinking. I told Clip on the pregame show, our defense is probably going to give up 7 more points after we lost Revel during practice for the rest of the year. So, be prepared for, I still believe in the defense a lot, but they're going to give up at least 7 more points a game, I would project, just because we lost a first-round draft pick at DB. Look, he was there, and you could just pretty much erase whoever he was covering and say, all right, let's worry about whoever else we're covering. Mm-hmm. And now you can't do that. So I could see us losing another game because of that, too. This one may have been one. And Clip, Caden, we sat here and watched it together, and, there was times where I'm like, why are we playing off coverage? But it's because you have guys now that aren't first-round draft picks. So that's what it is. So, the rest of the season, we'll still make a bowl game. Look, we play teams that we're better than, but you still can't turn the ball over in the fourth quarter when you got momentum. That's the thing that scares me the most.
The thing that concern me about the defense, and again, I'm way more concerned about our offense than defense, but getting gashed on the run quite a bit tonight, Holt.
Especially in the last drive when your D-line is your guys, they're going to run the ball. And they still, but that could be a thing where you get schemed up too. I'm not going to put it on everyone. Blake Harrell's not perfect, but that's what worries me is you turn the ball over in the fourth quarter and then you let them run the ball in the fourth quarter. It's a recipe for disaster, Caden.
Yeah. No, I feel it. I'm frustrated. You're up 17 points, 17-0, and then you let Liberty come back and you lose by 11?
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It really is. It's last week we were like, okay, App was a good team. App's a good G5 school.
And then they go and get bodied by South Alabama.
Exactly. And then you have this week, you go by 17. It's no, I feel the fans. No, it's frustrating. And I'll admit, I was wrong.
What were you wrong about? Winning this game or what?
I didn't think we had dropped 2 against App and Liberty.
Okay.
I really didn't. I really thought, especially you're going up, what will we go, 16-0 to App, 17 against Liberty? Yeah. I just hate being wrong.
Luke says, let's hear some real opinions, not excuses, covering for this team.
I don't think I covered it. I said I was wrong, Luke.
Talking about me.
Well, I'll go straight up. I was wrong about him, and I'm frustrated.
Yeah, if you want me, I'm giving you my football opinion is our defense is going to give up more points, and we're probably going to lose an extra game than we were going to in the season. So whatever, maybe Luke should come on and do the fifth quarter since he knows everything. We'll hear his talking points.
There we go.
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Caden, things that we're wrong about. We are not back, and I'm going to ride this.
I'm going to say it a lot tonight, but as soon as John David Baker gets off script, we can't score offensively. Mm-hmm. And, that's the answer. That's what's going on is you got to score when you're off script. Look, we have the quarterback who leads the nation in picks, and you don't want to – you're up in that situation. You're a road underdog. You have a little – they gained a little momentum back. They get the ball at half. Don't give them more momentum and trot out there and throw a pick. Is my answer on that one.
But do you agree with that? Hell no, if you were playing.
No, absolutely not. I would 100%. But see, that's another thing where, like, someone on that sideline has to be like, screw that. Let's freaking put the nail in the coffin now, go up 24-7 before halftime. But I see the coaching side of it, too, that you got to play the analytics in situations like that, especially when you're the dog. Like, you play the analytics a little bit more.
But you're giving the answer from their perspective. That's what they're thinking is let's
that
take
is
this
what they are
lead
thinking.
into the locker room. Yeah. But
as a fan and as a guy who played, like, when you have a quarterback who leads the nation, do you want to go in and run the ball, which is what we did. In that situation, they feel like that's the safest thing, but also probably the best. Because if you go out there and throw a pick and they score, it's 14-7 now at half, or even if they scored, get a field goal out of that, like, then you look really dumb.
Cameron's up in Goldsboro next. Hey, Cameron.
Guys, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I feel bad for y'all. I feel bad that everybody in Pirate Nation had to watch that disgraceful performance. Second week in a row, we get up. We have an opportunity to step on the throat of our opponents. And we can't do it. We can't do it. We miss a field goal again. I don't know how Conrad can keep getting away with this. It's ridiculous. How hard is it to find a kicker? Jesus. But what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, I thought after the Old Dominion game, I thought, hey, maybe we're back. Maybe we can win. Start out 4-0, maybe 5-0 or 4-1. I mean, it's mind blowing watching us play. I want to bawl my eyes out and rip them out of my head watching us play after we get a lead. We can't hold a lead. We can't score. Someone needs to talk to John David Baker because I agree with what Holton's saying. I think what JDB's doing is before the game he's writing out on with a crayon his top 10 plays I'm going to use all game and not think of anything else because he's clearly just operating off a script. It's ridiculous. I mean, Mike Houston. Oh my gosh, when they showed the coaches on the video, Chadwell has got a freaking iPad going over stuff, making adjustments, and Mike Houston standing there the entire game with his arms folded, hands on either his waist, looking like a buff Squidward. Like, what is he doing? What is he coaching? What's going on here? It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. We should be undefeated right now. And I'm sure by the end of this year with our easy schedule, we'll go to a bowl game. We may be like 6-6, 7-5. We'll all probably be a little bit happy. But, I mean, come on, guys. And Holton, you need to join the offensive staff. I know.
Oh, boy.
Past, I had your play. I'm a big fan of yours now.
Oh, here we go.
Now, maybe you can help JDB out. As always, go Pirates.
All right. Cameron has a lot of ideas for you. When you played, he said you should become a T-shirt salesman instead of a quarterback. Yeah. Now he wants you to be a coach. Interesting.
I got an idea.
I can't wait to hear it.
Cameron asked for a new kicker, right out the gate. I don't know. We have $40 million. Maybe we could put a little bit into a kicker if you guys really want a kicker. Maybe we don't put that into and I'm going to make a lot of people mad here. I must have said a P word, but maybe we put it into players because Holton's a player, I'm a player, and I don't give a dang about facilities. Let's put it into players. Maybe we win some ball games.
World. This guy cannot win a big game that matters. This guy can't do anything. And at the end of the day, man, the only thing left for him to do is to go in the back and grab the French fries and to put them in my bag. Mike Houston, put the fries in the bag.
Thank you, Atticus.
I'll keep it 100% real. I have no love or no hate to Mike Houston. I think Holt knows exactly where I'm coming from. If you listen to the first episode of our podcast, you know exactly where I'm coming from. But I'll keep it 100% straight with you. I'm 100% frustrated with you guys tonight. I'll defend. I'll keep it 100% straight. Tonight is frustration, but I'm not out here defending him. Holton might defend him a little bit more than I do, but there's no love, no hate. I just shoot it straight on the middle. I'm frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm frustrated too. I'm more frustrated because it seemed like we had the right OC, and Tennessee highlights are up right now. You turn on a Tennessee game, turn on an Ole Miss game. That offense is not the offense we're seeing, and I don't know if it's a fraud job by the OC. He seemed right in the hiring process and all the interviews. All the tempo looked good, but the offense does not look like the offense that we hired him to run. It looks like a shadow of it. It does not look like the offense we hired him to run. So that's my thing is you come in, we're going to score a lot of points. We're going to have tempo. We lead the nation in tempo, Cade. We were talking about it earlier. We certainly don't lead the nation in points. We're not scoring. We scored, what did we score? 24 tonight, 19 and 20 in the first 3 FBS games under this new offense. Like, come on. You're not going to win that many games, and no matter who you're playing, if you're scoring that many points in the new era of college football. So that's what I'm not thrilled about. Is you can say the quarterback, you can say the defense, like you got to score points. And I'm sure plenty of people said it when I was playing too, and it deserves to be said when you don't score points. But you ain't going to win many games if you, first of all, if you miss field goals, and second of all, if you don't score a touchdown.
I don't know what I feel about Mike Houston. His record's bad. I mean, 26 and 37 overall, 14 and 26 in conference. That's abysmal. That's nothing to be proud of in 6 years of work. It's bad. It's not Scotty Moe bad, but it's pretty bad. I mean, he had some good players too. Like, good Lord, who knows where the 2 years where we were decent would have been without Holt and Nailers. I mean, it's rough.
Well, first of all, shout out to Cade. I don't know if he went to the UNC game or the Virginia game today, but
You got it. I love it.
I mean,
Looking pretty over
Cade
there,
will
Cade.
tell him why.
Listen, I had a birthday party, and I had to look nice for my girl. So
Cade wasn't going to make the show
It's
until he got pushed back
2:30.
7 hours.
They called me like 3 straight hours to show up. So come on.
okay. Whatever, bro. I mean,
That's spiky as a cactus right there.
the fact of the matter is the Scotty Moe teams got blown out. The Mike Houston teams do play hard. However, I've never seen a defense over pursue the way our defense does. We over pursue the play so often. We overrun the tackle. Jeremy Foley won 2 national championships. He won a national championship at Florida under Steve Spurrier. He won a national championship at Florida with Urban Meyer. He is famous for the quote, "What has to be done eventually must be done immediately." And I don't think that anybody left in Pirate Nation can say that Mike Houston is the guy. So I think it's time to move on. And I hate to say that because I do love this team and I do love these guys. But last year when Charlotte came into town, I said Charlotte's the second worst college team in the FBS. The only reason I say they're second worst is because they beat us.
You would think most shows would be begging for callers at 246. We have people texting me and Holton trying to find open lines. It is crazy.
Liberty won 13 out of 14 games last year. Their only loss was to Oregon. They're 4-0 so far this year, so they won 17 out of their last 18 games. I believe that math is correct. Did anybody really think we were going to go up there and beat them tonight? They know how to win. We don't. Here's the problem is we could have, would have, should have beat them. And that's what's upsetting. I think had we taken care of business against App State last week, who is not a great football team, we'd be okay with this one. We'd be disappointed. We'd be pissed off that we blew a lead, but we'd be okay with losing to a good football team because Liberty's a very good football team. Here's the thing. We put all our eggs in the basket of an unproven offensive coordinator that had never called plays. And then everybody, thought it was going to be Hauser, the Michigan State quarterback who started 7 games for a horrible football team. And then it ends up being, Garcia that beats him out, the third-string quarterback from Missouri. But again, even with all that, we still could have won the game tonight, and we should have beaten Appalachian last week. Let me tell you something right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Mike Houston is coaching for his job the next 2 weeks against UTSA and Charlotte. Now, we are better than UTSA and Charlotte, but can we beat them?
Some of y'all probably heard this week when I talked to Alan York, the play-by-play voice of Liberty. I referenced 2 weeks ago, Liberty goes to New Mexico State. They're 22-point favorites. They're losing by 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and Salter, their quarterback, is out there laughing. And my first thought was, does this guy care about, but no, he was like laughing because he knew they were going to win because they always win. And did he not do the same thing tonight in the fourth quarter, Holt? Like he was having a ball out there.
Yeah, he did. And I mean, look, he's confident. He's comfortable in the situation. Like, we were messing around. He was messing around reaching the ball out when it was 1st and 10, and he was going for -1 yards and running, laughing about it. But look, I mean, they're winning games, and that's what matters. And that's a hard place to play. Let's not mistake that you go there. First of all, the rain situation's hard. I dealt with that one time in my career. That's a tough situation. They've won like 18 out of the last 19 games. That's a hard place to win, but we were up 17-0. So
they know they're going to win. Their quarterback, that receiver that killed us.
Yeah.
Now our fans, because I saw it all night, think we're going to lose no matter what the score is. I'll hope our players don't. I like to think our players think we're going to win, but at some point, maybe it starts creeping into them. I don't know.
Now it certainly does. I mean, you've given up 2 huge leads early on, man. So, like, when you're up early now, you're like, all right, when are we going to fix this? You know what I mean? So, like, the leadership's got to step in. And, like, when you're up, you're like, all right, this is where we separate ourselves. This is where we're different. This is where you go in and you complete the game. You can't just be up 16, 17-0 and think, all right, we're good, especially not against a good team like that.
People can go ahead and say that Garcia had a decent game. He had a terrible game. At the end of the day, he leads the nation in turnovers. You cannot win ball games when you lead the nation in turnovers. It's pretty simple. I mean, the defense put them in how many opportunities early on in the game to go ahead and punch it in the end zone, and they couldn't even do it. Look, Holton, I mean, you did your thing. It's too late to come at you tonight, but if you want to talk about leadership, you're a leader of this team. You've been in his ear. You've had the program. Then step up and say something. Go in the locker room, and you be the guy that makes the change.
Hold on. Holton.
Me?
Yeah. What's Holton supposed to do? Is he gone?
If Holton he's talking about leadership, leaders need to step up.
Yeah.
You're still here. You think you're a leader, then go in there.
Seriously, I'm with him on this. Holton, go down there tomorrow morning and say something.
You know what?
We've been waiting
I'm going to the airport tonight.
We've been waiting all week for this. Come on.
I mean, I wish I had eligibility because I would love to do that, but
well, he's not saying play. He wants you to
talk about eligibility. Get in there. You probably got his number on speed dial. Call his ass up.
You talking about Coach Houston?
Yeah.
Yes, Mike Houston. Call him up and say, I think you're doing a garbage job, and you blew this game.
You know what? I'm pulling him up right now.
Should we do it right now?
Right now.
Yeah, call his ass. Call his ass.
All right. Cheezel, thank you, man.
Thanks, Cheese.
Love the juice.
Love your passion, dude.
I'm sorry I'm not being the good leader that we need right now.
Thank you for not cussing. Appreciate it. Nolan's up next in Raleigh. Hello, Nolan.
Hey, y'all. All right, so we'll change of pace here. I've been on hold. I don't think anyone would have brought this up. I love the Pirates. I was disappointed, but I've been sitting here and, kind of getting myself right, maybe a little bit of little gummies, But my thoughts, I sit there and I look at the stadium, and I love the new expansion. But that gray facade, and it's got 3 different typeface fonts. So, like the Trade Club, I think it's Arial, and then Town Bank Tower, it's their custom font. I get that. But they're not uniform, and then the whole thing is gray, silver. You should paint that thing purple, and then all of the words should be, gold or yellow.
What kind of gummies?
I thought about this the past few years since we had that expansion. It looks great, but we got to make that thing more purple and gold, and then just the typeface. I don't know why we have it. It's the Town Bank Tower. It looks good, but then the Trade Club. It's just the most basic.
We can't.
Awful.
All right, go Pirates.
Thank you, Nolan. Enjoy the gummies.
Guys, our fans, I feel like get delusional sometimes. This whole anybody that's coached before can understand. I know that's the first thing we go to. Blame the coach. But, guys, Rajay Harris, who has been in East Carolina, I don't know, 8 years. I don't know how long he's been in East Carolina. Long enough. He fumbled the ball. We're going in for the winning score, and he fumbled the ball. How is the coach responsible for the guy fumbling the ball? App State last week, we make the stop on 3rd down. The guy, we're in perfect position. It goes through our hands, bounces off our helmet. They catch it for a 1st down. How is that the coach's fault? And that's the first thing our fans want to go to. It's fire the coach, fire the coach. The coach puts these guys in position, and they don't come through. They just don't make the plays. It's hard to win a college football game. The offense, I remember the days of, man, how many times are we going to run up the middle? Same old thing. How many times are we going to run up the middle? guys, we ran, I don't know how many different plays tonight. We ran bubble screens. We ran slants. We had 3 different running backs in the game. We ran it outside. We ran it inside. We ran outs. We took a shot at the deep ball a couple times. I mean, we used to never see that at East Carolina. So I can't put it on the offensive coordinator. We're trying. I get the whole off-script thing, but we're trying. So it's just frustrating to hear our fans sometimes. They just want to go right to fire the coach. I just don't get it. Caden, your deal with NIL, I can't get behind it, man. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'll take 10 Holt Nailers all day long over one Shador Sanders. That's just me. I love a guy like Holton that's there for the right reasons. If I'm going to give my hard-earned money from my business to a guy, one, there's no guarantee, right? There's 60 college football games every Saturday, and there's one winner and one loser, and there's guys making big-time money on those teams, and it doesn't guarantee you anything. So we can go out and put a bunch of money in a kicker, and that don't mean squat. I don't think paying for it's going to guarantee me anything.
At the end of the day, you got to win, and it's clearly wins and losses, and that's what we have this call-in show for, is because people are passionate about this, and it's like today's college football world and college athletics is like, to win, it seems like you have to put money in. It's like, where do you put the money? Especially at a school like ECU, you're not going to have $40 million to put in NIL. You're not going to have $40 million. You're not going to have $40 million to do both. So it's like, that's just a conversation to have. Caden, you can talk about it more.
Yeah, I'm a walk-on, guys. I paid my own way to school. My parents paid my own way. I was never given anything. I had a chance for a scholarship. Coaching staff changed. Scholarship was gone. Nothing there. Okay. But I do realize to win football games nowadays, it costs money. Guys like Holt Nailers, you're not going to find them. Eastern North Carolina, you might get one in a generation. You're not going to have them. Holton's talented. You're not going to have guys like that come through this area of North Carolina. A lot that's passionate about East Carolina. We're going to have to put our money where our mouth is. If we want to win football games, we're going to have to pay for it. And I'm a guy who hates it. I'm a guy who worked his tail off and never... never had it.
You paid to be there.
I paid to be there. And so, I'm against it as well, but it's a new age of college football. If we want to win games in East Carolina, and we want to compete against North Carolina, and we want to compete against NC State, JMU, I hate even bringing those guys into it, App State, we got to pay to be there. So that's what I got.
It feels like a real chicken and egg thing, too, because guys like Ryan, I get it, aren't going to want to pay for a loser, but maybe they would be a winner if he paid. So it's like,
we agree. And that's the thing is I've told y'all off air and even said on the podcast, I say it a lot. I'm like, I'm glad I got out when I got out. I wouldn't want to make a decision do I want to go make $1 million somewhere else or $50,000 for ECU, because it's like, what are you going to say in that situation? I'm glad I got out when I did, because it's not the same world.
It's a great day to be a Pirate, because every Sunday it's a great day to be a Pirate. And I just got to think. Heard a lot of negative things on Mike Houston tonight, but think about how that man's feeling, right? It's a head coach's job to get his guys ready, right, every week. And he talks about sharp practices. And what do we see? Great first halves, And he's got to sit there the same as us. If he has all this trust in John David Baker that he's assured us he has, giving us, the idea that it's his decision to make those offensive things run, he's watching the same thing we're watching. Imagine how that feels for that guy. When I watch him in the press conferences, I can tell he cares, at least. I see John David Baker, he can't even get his hat on right. You know what I mean? It's like, you waiting to get another hat, man? Well, where do you want to go next? The way it's looking, I don't know where he could go. It's obvious we don't have the next Lincoln Riley.
One thing I will say is, Coach Houston is passionate about. He is proud to be a Pirate, and you said that. And there's been some conversations off scene, behind closed doors about John David Baker from the second he met here from former players. Not saying it's me and Caden, but we have kind of experienced a little bit. He's been better with us, but he's I know some guys who were big names here who he kind of brushed off when he first got here. I'm better than you. I won't be here long type. And Caden, we've had this conversation behind closed doors, but. And then the other point is, maybe he does go to the sideline. Maybe he does need to feel the energy, because he goes in, he follows his script. His script is great. We get up early, and then we can't score a touchdown. So, that's just something where, you change something. I think that would be a good change.
And I had us 2-2 at this point. So, it's frustrating because we've been up 16-0 and 17-0 and could have won, but unfortunately, we're right where I thought we would be.
I just think me and Kane were so high because we believed in the offense. Like, that is like
yeah.
Because everything we've seen is go turn on the Tennessee offense, go turn on the Ole Miss offense.
And go turn on the first quarter of our games where
we're looking like that offense.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, we look at our defense last year.
Yeah.
We're having a lot of those guys back. And then, but if you're not getting that offense, then it is a different story. And like, I think me and Caden fell into the trap of looking at that offense and saying, look, that offense is built to be good no matter what players you have. It's built to get guys open and beat teams like the teams we're playing and make an average quarterback look good. That's what and then when you compare it with great talent, then that's when you get the Ole Miss and the Tennessee that are just killing people right now. But like, that offense is built to have middle level talent look really, really good. And it's not right now because it's not that offense. It doesn't look like that offense.
Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll talk to you next week on the Bud Light pregame tailgate and the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show.